I just recently moved after 4.5 years in Russia to New Zealand. I call myself a traveling executive, I suppose. I've had the privilege of living in the United States and in India and recently in Russia, and I've just moved to New Zealand. In New Zealand, I lead the warehouse group. The warehouse is the largest retailer there. We have enough stores and warehouses to be within 20 minutes of every Kiwi. And we serve across all categories of retail to flourish the lives of New Zealanders. As you may or may not know, the New Zealand community is very values-based community, in the sense that the top 4 values in New Zealand are those of the family, community, independence, and respect. And wealth comes way down about 32nd or something. Actually, we asked Watson to go and find out what matters to New Zealanders, and Watson came up with this after a couple of months of learning and listening on the web. So the business that we have created actually aligns with these values, because our founder, Stephen Tyndall, since he retired about 7 years ago, he still owns about 51% of our company. But he hasn't taken a single dividend dollar. He's given it back to the community, back to startups, back to flourishing the lives of Kiwis. You may have seen the America's Cup and the Team New Zealand that beat Oracle. That was pretty much bankrolled by him. And you may have seen Torpedo 7, one of our companies, that actually sponsored that boat. So we are very proud, being a very small nation, but a very impactful one. And what I want to discuss today with you is that these values that I just spoke about, we are in the middle of the AI transformation ourselves. And our biggest concern that we have in this transformation is that how do we maintain these values in the age of AI? Because these, in the end, are all created by people and people that work for us. We have nearly 15,000 people that serve our customers and work night and day to make sure that we anticipate what our customers need and we fulfill it for them. But do it in a way that actually upholds the values. One instance I was sharing with Martha is about one of our customers. Their house blew up in a fire, and they ran out with their child, and there were many houses around, and this lady was thinking, where would she go to get help? And she looked around and she saw a shirt. Our employees wear red shirts when they work in our stores. She saw one of the warehouse shirts hanging outside, and she said, I'm going to go in that house because I know good people live there and they'll help me. And she did go there and she did get help. And we are at the moment in the process of thinking, how can AI enhance our lives and enhance our community? And we are constantly struggling with, how do we keep these values of trust and loyalty and the values that we have promoted in our community in the age of AI? And when we think about this, with these humans and hundreds and thousands of them that work for us, our constant attempt is to see how can we help humans with the inline or in-job or in-context learning. So let's take an example of a merchant, okay? Everyone knows Don John, I guess, the founder of Forever 21. Does anyone know why he started the clothing company? He started the clothing company. He used to have a gas station, and the best cars, the flashiest cars that came to fill up the gas, belonged to the merchants in apparel industry in LA. And he said, I'm going to do that. I'm going to be the merchant. So what does a merchant do? Merchant looks at history of what was produced in terms of product, looks at the trends that are going on, and then matches up the trends with history, looking at what to sell, where, when, at what price. Now, who is better to do that, a human or AI? In our view, it absolutely is AI. In our company, we have over 32 years worth of data. And on day-to-day basis, we are looking at about maybe 18 months worth of data to make decisions, up to now. And what we've started doing now is look at all of that 32 years. Because humans, it's almost impossible for them to look at that long history, that 17 terabytes of data, and try to analyze all that happened for every single color of the button or the thread count or whatever else that decision may be that may have taken and it had impacted the market. So we believe that creating AI to actually help merchants decide is going to reduce the number of clearances we have, the number of markdowns we do, and number of different errors that get introduced in the marketplace. But we are concerned at the same time as to how do we uphold our values while we do all this empowerment of humans with AI. So one of the things that we have done is that instead of getting too much into the binaries of ones and zeros with this AI world, we decided that we would put this outside of our company. So we have started a company outside, which is fully owned, but at arm's length, so that we don't lose what our humans have done here, but at the same time get the insights that are generated from the history, the data, and maybe help the humans to get a little bit more accuracy rates, even by 1 point, 2 points, to help us deliver really what our customers need. You may have heard of Amazon Closet. Has anyone heard of the Amazon Closet? It's an offering that Amazon has just recently launched in the fashion area, okay, where they send you 3 types of clothing items that you can keep for 15 days. And if you don't like it, you can send it back for free return, okay? So why do you think they're doing it now versus, say, 10 years ago or 15 years ago? I believe that this closet product is fully based on AI and predictive analytics. That now Amazon has over 20-something years worth of data that is trustworthy, that when they actually send something to you, it really is based on your lifestyle, your behavior, and all the history that they have, your footprints, and even the creepy data that they have, that they use to make sure that there is at least 90% sure that it will not be returned. And this is a very good example. And somebody has said that the only thing that differentiates Amazon from all other retailers is trustworthy data. So we are right now in the process of cleaning up our data to make sure we can trust it. Here we have a good example of Alpha, the AlphaGo product. Why is AlphaGo so good? AlphaGo is so good is because Dr. Shane Legg trained it to create its own board, create its own simulations. And right now, the research paper that was just published 2 weeks ago, we see that AlphaGo is able to produce millions of boards a second and learn and play with itself to the point now that it's almost impossible for humans to beat it. So we are looking at creating a merchandising board, having our entire assortment on it, our entire range plan on it, our entire calendar on it, our entire seasons on it, and produce it so that it can enable humans to make the right decisions and make the right calls. And in the process, improve performance in the way we serve our customers. As Martha would say, from a conscience perspective, it's really wonderful for me to be in Stanford. It's kind of a innovation spark for me every time I come here. But I got to get it back to the level of the world that I live in. In my job, I have supply chain reporting to me. And last night we had a situation in one of our warehouses in the North Island where, we have trained humans to behave in a certain way. So people wait till the last minute, this Black Friday or Christmas Day, and that's when they buy. So what's happened to people like me is that we are bringing in product from all over the world right now and just stuffing it up everywhere in our warehouses, in our stores, even in our containers. Everywhere there's product right now. There's more product than I can do anything with. And we will start pushing this out into all our outlets, all our channels, and then Black Friday comes and it just moves out and flushes out. But we have this amazing peak coming up. Last night, we had a situation where a forklift bumped into a sprinkler in one of our warehouses, burst, and we have over 80,000 pallets that are wet now. We don't know what the impact is. And somebody just on the call, in the middle of the night, critical situation call, people are saying, if we had AI, Timothy, this would never happen. But then we say that the person who was driving this actually did it not out of lack of knowledge. They did it out of empathy. The ceiling, all up to the ceiling, we have stock. And they were just thinking, how else can they store it effectively so that we can have it available, as opposed to making a black and white decision. So the intent came out of care, intent came out of serving customers, intent came out of. So here's a fine balance. We are trying to figure out that yes, we will deploy these. Yes, these algorithms are great. Yes, we can do all kinds of different learnings of linear, supervised, unsupervised. But these elements that make us so effective as a retail company, and that's why I love working in retail, because you have the closest human touch to millions and millions of people out there. And that is the values of love, care, concern, empathy. And how do we embed this as we look at creating a more deep data-based learning culture and empowering these humans with amazing algorithms, but not losing these values that separate us. And lastly, the going back to the AlphaGo, it's really interesting because the shaky move in the alpha game is one of the easiest. Even a child can learn it. And out of all these billion iterations of the Go board that Alpha created, it missed that one from learning, and it actually only by accident learned it right at the end, that one simple move, which would have made it lose the game. So it's really interesting for us to how this algorithmic AI learns compared to how human learn. And we just think that there is a whole mashup opportunity from the learnings that AI does, the learnings that humans do, to really get the best out of both to flourish human life. So those are my comments, and I believe I have ran out of time now. So thank you so much.